Hello, you're muted. Emmanuel.
Hi, sorry. All right, thank you so much for that. Thank you so
You're
much for that.
welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
All right, so I was basically welcoming us to today's session about Microsoft Nigerian Microsoft 365 community, where we talk about Office 365 enterprise mobility and security, the Windows 365. Then again, the training is going to be is going to be a long training because we are starting a fresh workload. We'll be looking into Microsoft Teams. You're starting with Microsoft Teams today, which is going to be for a couple of weeks. Then after Teams, then we have other trainings I'll be doing today. So I was introducing myself. Um, my name is Emmanuel Itoje. I'm an IT professional with experience in infrastructure, cloud services, and productivity application with a focus on enabling business using technologies to optimize organization strategy. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm a Microsoft Enterprise Admin expert. I'm a Microsoft Teams voice expert. I'm also a Microsoft Solution Architect, Azure Solution Architect, Identity and Assets Administrator. So today we have a special guest today that will be joining us today. And before we introduce the guest, so I'm going to just go through our housekeeping rules again for the sake of those that are just joining us. So the session will be recorded and it will be made available to us on our YouTube session, on our YouTube channel rather, for virtual viewing. So every videos from the beginning of this year that we've had, every meetup is uploaded on our YouTube channel. So you can simply go there, you'll see the videos. Anyone that you feel like you need to revise on, the videos are readily available there. Then if you're not talking, please mute your mics. Ensure that your mics are muted when you're not talking, and you pen down your questions during the Q&A session. The questions will be attended to by our speaker. Then again, we have a Twitter account at ngm365. You can please follow us on the Twitter account. Then our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on our videos, on our trainings. Then we value your feedback so much. So if you have any feedback you want to give to us, you can always give your feedback, and the team is always revealing the feedback to see how we can what areas that we need to improve upon and things that we can do to make our meetup more enjoyable. So again, I'm going to introduce our special speaker today. So the person is Abdulazeez. So he's actually a Microsoft Teams subject matter expert and a unified communication consultant. So he's a Microsoft Teams expert and a Microsoft certified trainer with extensive experience in Office 365 support and administration. So he has keen interest in helping people break into tech as a cloud is spacious enough to accommodate everybody. There's something I like about our guest today is someone who actually values giving back to the community. When somebody wants to come into tech, he always dedicate his time. I have two fun facts about our relationship together over the years. I'm going to say one now, then say one after the training. So the first fun fact is that when we were with our previous employer, I was in a concierge business while he was in the enterprise business. I just my first couple of weeks in the business when I just went live, I needed to attend to a client that actually had a case on Teams issue, and I was looking for solution everywhere. But because I needed to collaborate to get a solution, so somebody told me, okay, we have a Teams enterprise team in the seventh floor. We were on the eighth floor, so I jumped to the floor. By the time I went to where they seated, and I was asking that I have a Teams issue. Can anybody attend to me? Help me with the issue. Everybody was just mentioning, say, reach out to Abdulazeez, reach out to Abdulazeez. That's actually the first time that I actually had an encounter with him, and he was so generous enough that he was like he helped me analyze the issues, so able to streamline the issues that the customer was having, the what the customer was trying to achieve. At the end of the day, he helped me with an action plan that I tried with the customer, and I got a wonderful feedback from there. He actually made me to like Microsoft Teams. So today I have the honor to welcome Abdulazeez to the call. Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you on the call.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hi, you can go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me. One, well, I will want to say this that you mentioned, I don't even remember. But
I know
then,
I know you won't remember.
Okay, thank you so much, again, everyone, for joining us. Okay, so we're going to, we're talking about teams today. And I want to expect that we have a mix of people here, those that have understanding about teams and in general of Services 5, and perhaps those that are new to teams. And I know this session have been on for a while. So if you've been attending the sessions, I know that you will possibly have gotten one or two things, understand a lot of things about Office 365. So if you do not even know that much about Teams, you will have had something is Microsoft Teams. When we're talking about SharePoint, you have to go to Microsoft Teams to do some things, add some tabs. So, well, you already know that, well, there is something like Microsoft Teams. And if you are just joining, you're welcome. We're going to try and take it from the very basics, where we will be able to explain and understand what exactly is Microsoft Teams. Okay, so before we move ahead, my name again, as he has mentioned, is Abdulafeez. Abdulazeez. My middle name is Alarika. Okay, so basically, I have been working in IT space for a very long time before moving into the cloud proper. And in the cloud, we've spent years. Well, we started as enterprise teams, support engineer, assisting administrators of organizations to troubleshoot their team's issues, provide solution, ensure that they have a smooth running of the Microsoft Teams and anything that has to do with their voice. So we've moved from there, from being a support engineer to being a POC to being technical lead, and presently I'm working as an SME still within the Microsoft Teams space. As he has rightly mentioned, there is one thing that actually gives me joy when I see those that are eager to embrace the world of tech of today. So it's quite interesting knowing that yes, people are passionate and they have interest in joining what you do, knowing more about the cloud space. At least the little I know, I'm eager to share and pass on. Okay, without further stress, let me share my screen so we can dive into the content of today. It is going to be very basics, but then let's see what we have and how much we can go. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen here.
Okay, good. Thank you for the confirmation again. And here we go. Okay, apologies for all that. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about introduction to Microsoft Teams. Yeah, my name is Abdulafeez. Now, what's exactly are the outlines? What are the things we want to possibly just talk about today? One is for those that do not even know what Microsoft Teams is. What is Microsoft Teams? Then how? What comes under how? Well, how do we go about Teams? If we understand what Teams is, then how do we use it? In what scenario, what do we use it for? Teams architecture. What is the architecture of Teams? And then we are going to go to conclusion. Basically, I'll dive into the content. We're going to understand it better. The slide is just very few. We're going to be doing more of demonstration to better understand whatever we're talking about. So at any point, if you do not, you're not seeing my screen, let me know. If you possibly need me to explain a concept before leaving there, fine. And you can pen your questions down. At the end of the session, you can ask. And if you need to ask while going on so that it does not get mixed up, you can raise your hand. And if I did not see your hand raised, because I will possibly not be seeing it well because of the presentation here. So you can just call my attention by unmuting yourself and call my attention.
I'm
Okay,
checking that
so
from mine, yeah.
yeah, thank you so much. So now the first thing is, what is Microsoft Teams? Okay,
Hi,
so
Abdulazeez.
hello,
Hello. Yeah,
hello.
sorry. We are seeing your own screen.
You're on
Not
presenter mode.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
okay, so well, let me
Okay.
come back here.
All
Yes,
right.
better. It's better.
Okay, good, thank you. So now the first question is, what is Microsoft Teams? Now, by this diagram, we might be able to tell, oh, okay, this icon represents this and this and that and that. What does this really mean? I would like to possibly have two people tell me what they understand by what Teams is before we dive into, okay, what do we have for us about Teams today? Anyone, please? I actually need to be sure I'm being heard. Do we have any volunteer that wants to talk about? Well, this is the learning space, so please do not be fearful. Do not hesitate to talk, even if you make a mistake. There is nothing like a wrong answer. And yes, please, before I even go ahead, let me just tell you one very small story. I hope it's going to be interesting to us. Now, when I joined the cloud space, it's something that is new to me, even though I've been in the IT world. I've done IT support, on-prem completely, was cloud, was of 365. Well, during the training session, I happen to be one of those that ask a lot of questions, ask a whole lot of questions, because mine is, if I want to be successful with this, I should know what I want to do. I should know what I'm dealing with. I should know the product I'm working with. So I ask a whole lot of questions. To me, there's no stupid question. I don't actually care what you say about the question I ask. I know I will get the response to the question I need, and I will be able to use it. It assists a whole lot. And then here we are today. So please, what do you understand by Microsoft Teams? If I do not get any response, I will possibly assume that we are all beginner and we do not have any understanding of Teams. Is that right?
I'll speak.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
let me make a rule.
Please guide.
Microsoft Teams, for me, it's a communication platform.
Okay, good. That's very correct. Okay, the
Yes.
second speaker can go on now.
Yeah, someone
Okay,
in the chat said it's a hub
okay.
for teamwork. William said that.
Microsoft,
Nice one. Very good contribution. Yes, and someone was saying something.
Emeka, go ahead.
You can use
Yeah,
it for
okay.
collaboration.
yeah,
Yeah,
Microsoft,
exactly.
Collaboration. Sorry.
Microsoft is a collaboration and a communication platform that enables people to send chat messages, make calls, even send files, and enable them to collaborate together and then make their work easier and faster. Thank you.
That's very good. Thank you so much for that. Now, I really appreciate the contribution of everyone. We have all spoken, and what we have said is very correct. Now, Teams is basically, it's simply a workspace for real-time collaboration. Somebody mentioned collaboration earlier, for communication. Somebody mentioned that, meetings, files, and app sharing. So basically, when you're talking about Teams, it is like an hub. It's a space where you can collaborate, you can communicate. Any means you have that you are, any means of communication within the organization that you are aware of, the way you communicate with one another, via phone, via this and that. Teams is here to offer you all this in just one solution. Now, we're talking about Teams as a real time, okay, as a workspace for real time collaboration. What does that mean? The word real time. Real time actually means that, yes, on the go. Exactly, you are sending a message now. You are not expecting that, oh, okay, it's a letter, it's delivered to the person. After it got delivered, then somebody is going to reply back to me. No, like you get your response in real time. You can actually work on files. You can co-edit files. You can co-author files. You can co-author documents. You can work on the same space. If you are doing something, your colleague can be working on that same document as well, and then you're all good to go. So that is what Teams is. Now, Teams is actually one of the Office 365 or Microsoft 365 tools. Okay, I want to assume that we, not everyone here have joined the sessions earlier, and we may not possibly have the understanding of the whole of 365. Now, 365 is a Microsoft productivity tools, or let me say, enterprise tools or business tools that enhances productivity in organizations, help organizations to stay more modern, stay more technologically inclined, stay more productive, and helps them a whole lot with a whole lot of things. Talking of file management, email services, and a whole lot of things like that. Now, in Office 365 or Microsoft 365, as the case may be, we have what we call Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams, being part of the tools, can be used for collaboration, can be used for communication, can be used to have organize town halls, can be used to organize conferences, meetings, and a whole lot of things like that. You can integrate. There are solutions that we have designed in-house in organizations that we can design. Okay, I'm using this application for this. I'm using this solution for this. If you have your on-prem solutions, if you have your third-party solutions, you can bring them into Teams. Meaning that you do not necessarily say you're going to the cloud, you're going to Teams, and you're losing everything you have already. No, you can bring whatever you have, your on-prem solution, what is existing, what you have already, you can bring them along with you. So it's not like when you're moving into Teams or you're moving to Office 365 space, you are forgetting everything that you have before. No. Now, that being said, if you now have the understanding of what is Teams, as we have mentioned now, then the next thing is to understand how does Team actually work. We have different subscription plans for Microsoft 365. Any Microsoft 365 subscription includes Teams license. We even have subscriptions that are just basically for Teams. Now, if you're talking about subscription, then we're talking about paid plans, which can either be for home, which is for family use or personal use, and can be for the business side of it. Now we're going to be mainly focusing on the business side of it, so that we have that's as a whole lot of functions that the personal team might not actually have, and we will be able to talk more on the enterprise facing teams. And talking of family, even though we have for subscription, you can pay for Teams as for family or personal use. We still have Teams free, where you can use for your individual services. You can download Teams for free, and you can use it with its own limitation. So now, how do we get Teams? So basically, to get Teams, you just need to download Teams. There are, as I've mentioned earlier, you have Teams for business, you have Teams for family or for home. You have different applications you use for these different teams that we have. We're going to be I'm going to show you, okay, so the link and how you download, how you go about getting the Teams application. You can actually have your Teams installed on a desktop, like your system, and you can use Teams on the web. You can actually also use Teams on your mobile application, on your mobile devices rather. And we have Teams that is specifically for some dedicated devices. We have dedicated devices that organizations use. We have, for some organizations, some of us that work in organization where we use voice solution, we have a lot of VIP solutions. We have SIP phones, we have other phones, other services that we use to manage our voice over the internet. And we have a lot of devices that are not specifically for Teams. We can possibly just have land phones from any of these providers. We have a lot of providers, a lot of vendors that have these devices. Now, talking of Teams, there are dedicated devices with certified vendors. Now, Teams certified some vendors. Okay, so these devices can actually be used for Teams. Now we have Teams Room devices where you can have Teams on it for dedicated purposes, for conferencing and the likes. So Teams, we have this variants of Teams, and basically we're going to be showing us the basic things, because this is going to be an extensive session. Like I mean, it's not going to be just a session. We are going to be dwelling more on the functionalities in Teams as we have the sessions. So we're going to be taking the basics here. We're going to add the introduction so that we have basic understanding of what Teams is, how Teams work, and how what are the things that you can use Teams for, and how does it actually integrate with other services. Another thing I need to mention here is this: Microsoft Teams is not actually, it is an application or service that integrates all other services from Office 365. into it. Like there are services in Teams that relies on other services. If you want to talk of scheduling meeting in Teams, you're talking about accessing the mailboxes of the user that needs to schedule the meeting. Now, if this user is not provisioned for Exchange, you may not be able to use that feature in Teams. So there are a lot of other services that are integrated into Teams. So we're going to explain that more in the demo session. Now we're moving on to Teams architecture. I have been talking about some collaboration, talking about communication, talking about file sharing and others. The way things work in for Teams is just okay. Is in the center. You can use it for chats and call. When we get to demo session, we're going to see that and understand how we use that more. You can use it to host meetings. I mentioned I talked about meetings earlier. Now you can store files and share files. Basically, there is a logic behind this storing and sharing files, which actually goes beyond just Teams, which we're going to explain, if not into this session, in subsequent sessions. Now you can manage projects and work groups. You have teams within Teams. You can create a team, you have your channels, you have your sub teams. Just like in an organization, you have dedicated individuals to work on a particular project. Now, the same way in Teams, when you have, like I have 5 people to work on this project with a team lead and other people in the team, I can have a team created or a channel created that is going to just contain these people, then they can collaborate online. They do not necessarily need to be in the same place. They don't necessarily need to stay in the same room to have a session or to discuss or to work on that particular project. So that is one of the features that Teams brings. So talking about the Teams architecture. Now, collaborate on documents. Talking of collaboration on documents, I mentioned earlier that you can collaborate on documents, you can co-edit a document. I can be working on documents with someone here now, and we're going to be sharing the same document while I'm doing some things on that document. The other person is also working on that same document. So this and other things we're going to demonstrate to us during the course of these sessions. And then I mentioned about integrating your third-party apps. Yes, you can integrate your third-party apps. This is one of the things that we're going to be covering in the later sessions of this Teams training. So now let me quickly just go to now talking about how. The first thing is to access Teams, you download Teams or you access it on the web. If you want to access Teams, you can. Okay, before I proceed, I want to have a confirmation that yes, we are still with me. Are we still together, please?
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Yes,
So,
yes.
thank you
Still
so
with
much for the
you.
confirmation. Good. Now, if you want to access Teams, you can access Teams by going to office.com. As simple as that. Basically, you're not accessing Teams with this. What you're accessing is whatever you have, the package you have, the Microsoft 365 package that you have is what you want to access with this office.com. It takes you to the home page of your subscription. Now, from there, you can go to other services that you have in Teams, in Office 365 with your subscription. If you have Teams with it, you can access Teams from there. Now, you can also, now let me just go to this office.com. And here you can sign in if you already have an account. If you do not have an account, you can say get Microsoft 365. It takes you to where you can get the package. That is if you want to go through this route. Then the second route you can go is to go directly into Teams, which is teams.microsoft.com. Here you can access Teams directly with this. Now we're still talking about accessing Teams on the web. Don't forget, we mentioned earlier that you can access it on the web, on the desktop, and also on your mobile devices. Now it takes me directly into Teams, and here we are. My charts, my Teams, we're going to come back to this. Okay, let me close this session for now. Now, the next other option that we have in accessing Teams is by downloading the Teams application itself. So if you want to download Teams application, just go to browser and say download Microsoft Teams. Then you have the first link here. If you click on it, you may be wondering, okay, how do I get the for desktop and this? Now you can see download for desktop, download for mobile. If you want to download for mobile, I click on this, and here I am. Click here. When you click on that, you are able to get it for your mobile. Now, if you want to download for desktop, I mentioned earlier that you have for family and you have for business. Now, if you're going to be downloading it for personal use, based on your subscription, you're going to be downloading here. If I click on download for desktop here, I have Teams for home. Here, any subscription that is restricted to family or personal subscription, this is what you use to access your Teams for that particular subscription. But if you have any business license, or you have enterprise license, or any of these education license, you are going to be using Teams for work or school to access whatever subscription that you have, Teams within the subscription that you have. Now, to sign up for Teams, I know that we might have gone through that earlier. So you can just basically, from here, if you say download Teams and okay, log into Teams, where we said you can go to office.com. If you do not have any account, if you click on Get Microsoft 365, it takes you to, now it brings you here. You can select a location, so you can possibly have the offers that are available for you. Now, looking at this one, I talked about for home and talked about for business earlier. Now, for home here you can see Microsoft 365 family, and you can see personal. If I decide to go for any of these subscription and I need to access it, then I will be downloading Teams for home. Now, we may have instances where some people, they're trying to sign into their subscription. Instead of downloading Teams for home, they will download the Teams for work, and they will try to sign in using the family account. These are things that happens a whole lot. So now, and if you look at this for business, if you go to for business, you're going to see that you have different. Okay, so for business here, I believe it is still loading. Okay, good. We have Microsoft Business Basic, Business Standard, Business Premium, and Microsoft 365 Apps for Business. Now, all of these licenses include Microsoft Teams, except for the fact that this mentioned that this is for Microsoft 365 Apps for Business, which includes just the productivity tool. This license is there because we have people that use the Microsoft Office suite, and we may decide to say, instead of me having that Office suite and I cannot use it on the web, I cannot use it on the go, I can decide to go for Microsoft app for business, which is going to give me access to the desktop version, desktop application of this what's it called, of the productivity tools, which include Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and other Office suites application. So now that is a bit about how you get Teams. Now the take home here is that if you want to get Teams, which you are using family subscription, you're going to be downloading Teams for home. If you want to get Teams for your business, we have business licenses, we have enterprise licenses. Any of the licenses that you have, business, enterprise, education, you're going to be using Teams for work or school. So this is how to download Teams. So I can click on this now and it downloads that for me. I already have it installed. I'm having a session using that now. Just download and I can click on it to install the Teams. So that's how to
Looks like his network trips. Let's wait for him. Looks like his network trips. actually. Let me chat him up on WhatsApp to confirm. So, while we're waiting for him, in addition to what he said, so the Microsoft 365 apps for business only allows you to download the Office applications. So if you have that subscriptions, you will not have access to Teams services. Actually, you won't have access to Teams. If you purchase Microsoft 365 apps for business, the only work that subscription is doing for is for you to be able to download Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, Publisher, and all that. Then, because the service is not available, the team service is not available, you will not be able to use Teams today. So if you need the team service, if you want to just work on Teams on the web, all you need is a business basic. Then the business standard is a combination of the business basics and that the apps for business, while the business premium has everything in the business basics and with some additional security features. I guess his network is not yet back.
Okay, back online.
All right.
Apologies for that break. What happened was that I downloaded Teams and it's installed automatically. When it does that, it closes the one I was on to initiate or open the one I downloaded. So it was a mistake clicking on that actually. I was just trying to show you around. So apologies
No
for that.
worries. No worries.
Share my screen again. Let me know when you can see my screen, please. Yeah, you can see your screen.
Yeah, I can see
Okay,
your screen.
good. Thank you so much for that confirmation. Okay, so here we have talked about getting Teams for whatever subscription that you have, and also I was talking about the way you can get Teams for free if you want to try it out for free, like you want to use the Teams personal. When you go to teams.microsoft.com, if you do not have any accounts, it asks you to get Teams free. Now that is one. But if you actually want to try it out, you can just go for the trial license. These Office 365 licenses, they have trial licenses. You can either go for the developer license, which is actually for development. You can use that one to practice the whole lot, and you can decide to go for that one is going to be available for you for 90 days initially, and you can decide to go for any of these licenses free trial. You see, try for 1 month. You can get the subscription, so you can try. You can do a lot of things with it. You can access your teams, access other services as well, and no restriction. And after the 1 month, you can decide to go for a paid subscription if you want to go for a paid subscription. So that is how you can go about getting Teams. Now, I have downloaded Teams and I've installed Teams, and here we are assigning to Teams. It takes me here. Here I am with my license and with the account I used in signing in for Teams or signing up for Teams is what I have here now. I've signed into Teams with that account. When I sign into Teams, I get this interface. So now, diving into Teams proper now, you are being able to access Teams. Now, the issue is not about how do I get Teams. I've gotten my Teams installed or perhaps on the web. The next thing is, what are the functions? What are the things that I can do here? Now, we explained during architecture that we can use it to chat. The first thing, let me talk about this activity tab. Activity tab shows you the actions that are being performed. If someone messages you and you are not on Teams, or you are possibly not on that person's chat, you get a notification that says, oh, somebody chatted you up. You can easily see that and click on it, check on the message. You get a mention you are in the team or you are doing something in the group. They mentioned you. It's okay. There might be some other messages that might have been sent by other users, other people in that same team. that gives you the privilege of, okay, yes, I can quickly click on that notification and it takes me to where I was mentioned to see what they have notified me on. Now you can see now that what Itoje has done now is that he has mentioned me, and I'm not anywhere where he mentioned me. If I decide to say, okay, let me go to chat here now, I can see that, oh yeah, he did something, he mentioned me here. But then I got that notification here. If some people have chatted message, I've dropped a lot of messages here, I might miss that mention. And it might be that I was being called to do something. Now, I am able to see the notification here. This is saying I should only see unread notification. But if I turn this off, I will be able to see all the notifications. So now this is there to, or you may have a lot of mentions and notifications, and some of them might not be important because you've seen them, and the ones that you've not actually checked might be down, and you might have a lot of couple of notifications that are above that. So you can easily enable this to say, I don't want to see on read messages. I only want to see unread messages. So now, when I open that chat from here now, it shows this as read message. So if I decide to say I don't want to see read messages, I will not see that again. So that is what this one is for. Now, going to chat, we talk about chatting in Teams. Here now, I can decide to say, oh, Emmanuel, Itoje, I want to chat with you. We don't need to necessarily meet and discuss. This is because yes, there is this concept of guests, external and internal users in Teams. That is going to be covered in another session. Now, I am going to be chatting with him now. Here we are. Now, this is a means of chatting in Teams. Talking about chatting, and you can see please kindly note this, external. Subsequent sessions, before the end of the team session, if you do not have understanding of why external is showing here, please ask. External is simply showing here because this user is an external user. Why do I say that? Just a quick response or explanation on that. If you look at this is, you can see it is .onmicrosoft.com. Now, if you go and check my own account, it is saying miracloud.com. If anyone within this Miracloud domain pings me or messages me or send a message to me, it's not going to be showing this external. Some instances you're going to be seeing guests here. So please just watch out for other sessions. Please be sure to attend all sessions so that you can have understanding of how Teams work, and you will be able to comfortably take it from there on your own. So now, talking of chats, I can chat with an individual. This is a chat. Now, second option is I can decide to have a group chat. Now, this is Itoje. I'm chatting with Itoje now, but then it's trying to tell me about something that involves another person. So what I do is I add that person in this chat. Let's say I have Amsol that's supposed to be here. I want to add, and now if you look at this, I have Amsol and Emmanuel in this chat. If I should drop any message here, both of them will get this message. So that talking about chats, we have one-on-one chat, we have group chat. One-on-one chat is what I had with Emmanuel right here. Group chat is what I had here. Now, if I'm not chatting with Emmanuel and I needed to create a group chat, I just need to look at this. There's an icon here. I just click on this new chat. I click on new chat. I can say, oh, you come here. I have Leslie somewhere. I wanted to talk here, to come here. Emmanuel, okay, these three people, I need to chat with them. Oh, no, this is a mistake. I can remove this. Now, these three people now, I can say, oh, no, I don't want Leslie here. I want only Amsol and Emmanuel. And I can decide to say, yes, I created the chat. And it takes me here because I already have an existing group chat for just the two of them. If I'm creating a new group chat now that's involved three people, even if Amsol is here and Emmanuel is here, but then I want to add someone else, I want to add Leslie. It will not add Leslie into that group chat. Rather, it's going to create a new chat session, group chat session. Because no one can have access to this chat except for those that are within the group chat. And I can decide to say, let me name this group chats. Whatever we are working on, I can say A, B, C projects. That's what we're working on. That's what I'm just trying to discuss here. Maybe there's an assignment that involves Emmanuel and Amsol. I brought the two of them here to get an update on it on that. So this is now I had one-on-one chat with Emmanuel. I had group chat with Emmanuel and Amsol. And if I needed to have a chat with 3 or more people, I can add them in another group chat, and they will not be having access to all the other group chat that I've created for other people. So that is about chats in Teams. Before we move on from there, I need you to observe something here. Look at this here. This is one-on-one chats. I am not seeing, this is what I can see. Then if I decide to say, let me chat with Amsul, now another thing, if I need to chat with someone, I know the name of the person, but I've not initiated any chat with that person before. How do I do that? I can decide to come and search for the person here. And yes, here we are. I have the person. And if I should, now what I want to show you here is this. Look at the options we have here. And look at the option, compare it to the options we have for Emmanuel. There is something here. This paperclip icon is here, but is not here. Just tipping you here. The reason why I don't have that here is because Emmanuel is actually an external user here. So that is just a tip. Now we've talked about chats, one-on-one chats, and we've talked about group chats. Oh, time. Okay. So now, but one thing is, if it is very small portion of this we can take today, fine. We have more sessions. We need to understand this so that we will not join this session and say, oh, then I still don't understand Teams. Now we understand what we mean about one-on-one chats, group chats, and renaming group chats. Let's go to team. What brought my attention to that is here for users within my organization, I can decide to share file. I can share files with them. Attach cloud file. I can share files from my OneDrive. I can share files from my device. All these files are not resident on my device. So I don't need to save this file. This introduction to Teams I'm using today, I don't have it on my device. It's in the cloud. That's one advantage it has here. So now if I should decide to say I want to send this now, here, we've been talking about something, so here, I was able to send this. I cannot send this to Emmanuel the way I sent it to Amso. Now, if I should create a chat session, like I'm working with Amsol and Leslie, they are both in my organization. I will still be able to see that chat paperclip icon to attach file. But you can see here that look at the paperclip here. I have 3 people here in this session. Myself, Hamsel, Leslie. But we are all in the same organization. I can still see this. But once an external user joins that group chat, that is not possible again. There are a lot of things we need to understand about this guest user, external user, internal users. We are going to take our time to explain all this to us during this session that we are having. Now, that's for chats. We talked about chatting and sharing files. We're going to Teams now. Now we're talking about the collaboration. Collaboration part, we can do that via chat. You can co-edit documents and the likes. Now, but basically in Teams, you have Teams here it is a tab here as well, Teams, for collaboration, where I can create groups, just the way I will do in my organization. I have several departments in my organization. My organization is ABC, and the ABC organization, I have Group A, Group B, Group C, Department A, Department B, Department C. I have the IT department, I have the quality department, I have the HR department. I can have a team created for each of those departments. Like now, for instance, I say join or create a team. This is how to start. Initially, if I have my teams, I open my teams. By default, I'm going to have a default team. And this is the default team I had. All these ones I have created. Now I need to create a team. What I just had to do is click on this. I'm on chat. I'm not seeing anything like join or create a team. I come to the Teams tab here, and I'm able to see this option to say join or create a team. If I say join or create a team, I can create a team here. I can create a team. I can decide to say I want to create a team from scratch. And I can create a team from a group or team. Now, talking of a group or team, I already have, for every team I create, they will have Office 365 group. Now, I might have created Office 365 group for those that are familiar with creating groups in Office 365, or those that have joined the sessions previously. When you create a group in Office 365, it does not automatically have a team, except you say create a team for it. But if you did not create a team for that Office 365 group, you can decide to say, I want to create a team for that particular group. And when you click on this, it is going to show you the list of available groups that you have. But here now, I do not have any Microsoft 365 group that I can use. So with that, I want to create from scratch. Creating from scratch means, okay, I don't have a group already. I want to create that group now. I want to create a team now. And when I create the team, it is going to create automatically an Office 365 group for that team. Now we're going to do that now. If I want to create a private, now if I say I want to create group for department, now I have an organization. If I want to create a group, a team for everybody in my organization, I'm going to use this org-wide team. Org-wide team means I can add everyone in my organization in, okay. I can add everyone in my organization in this team. So automatically everyone, I don't need to add anyone. I just need to give the name. You can see it automatically suggests the name of the company for me. If I say create, everyone becomes automatically added in this team. But then I have departments. I have HR department, I have the certain department. I may decide to say HR department, I want it to be visible to everyone in the organization. Now, the management have their own board of, yes, we have board of directors. Board of directors has specific people that are supposed to be in that board. So if I'm going to be creating a team for that board of director, it's going to be a private team, meaning no one can search for that team. If I create a team now, I can decide to search. Okay, let's try and create a team first. Let's say IT department. This is, I'm going to give it a description here. I'm going to skip that part. IT department. And I have Amsol and Leslie in the IT department. Or perhaps it's just two-man, hi and Amsol. I'm going to have Amsol added here. Now, if I try to say, let me add Emmanuel. This Emmanuel is within my organization. Okay, let me search with Itoje. It is not bringing Itoje here for me. There are reasons for this as well. The simplest reason I can give here, further explanation will come later, is that Emmanuel Itoje is not in the same organization. That is where we're using this organization so that we can show all this. Now, I have this person added to my team in the IT department. Add, and this person is a member. I created the team. Automatically, I become the owner of that team. Now, I don't have this IT department here earlier. Now I can see IT department here. I just created it. And automatically, when you have a house, definitely you have a room in that house by default. Because if you just build a four-corner wall, that becomes a hall. Now, if you need to have specific rooms, you can now start building rooms. Now, this is the all that I have for this house I built. Now, this team, now this is the general channel where I can communicate with anyone in that team. Now, in the IT department or HR department, as the case may be, I have some specific people as well that are working on certain projects, or that they are okay. In my IT department, I have system admin, I have a desk IT support people, I have network engineers, I have security personnel. Now I can decide to say, okay, in my IT department, I will create channel here. Let's say I go to the team itself, I create channel. So I was hoping that we're going to be the covered teams and also channels, but I mean calendar. But I believe our time is fast spent, and we're still going to give some time for question and answer. So I'm going to stop this session after discussing these teams and channel. So please bear with me a few more seconds, few more minutes. Now I've created the team.
30 more minutes actually.
Oh, good to know. Thank you so much for that information. So now, IT department is a team that I have created for those that are in IT department. But as I mentioned, in the IT department, I have sub-departments like the network team, I have the security team, I have the IT help desk team. And I can decide to say, now I'm going to be creating channels. Now, help desk. This is where this comes. You know, I created a team. Sorry, who can remind me, the team I created now, IT department, is it a public team or a private team when I was creating it? Time to know if you are following up.
General team.
Okay. Okay, so now let me quickly do a recap on that. If you want to create a team in Teams, you can create org-wide team. Org-wide team, okay, let me just quickly cancel this so I can take us back here and quickly show us around. Now, you know, if you want to create a team, what I do is I click on this Teams tab, then here I can see join or create a team. A tip here as well. If you are not able to see this option, just contact the administrator, Teams administrator, or office administrator, as the case may be. They might have disabled this. So now, I have not, I don't have any policy I set for that. So now I can see it. When I click on it, it takes me here. I say create a team. Let me do something here quickly. Okay, let me quickly do this. Let me not mix it up. Create a team. I have the option to start from scratch. Now here I have three options. I can create a private team, a public team, and org-wide team. Org-wide team, when I create an org-wide team, it adds everybody in my organization into that team. Do you understand that, please? Yes, we do.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that confirmation. Okay, so now if you create an org-wide team, it has everybody in the organization. Now, public team, it is going to you're going to be adding people into that team. It's not everyone in that organization have access to that team. Now, this is where you can say, I want to create a channel for the HR department. I want to create a channel for the IT department. I want to create a channel for the quality department. If I click on public now, it creates a public team. That is what I have done to create IT department. IT department is a public team. So now I will be the one to add people in IT department. And don't forget, I created the team. Automatically, I become a member. I become the owner of that team. And I have added AMSOL in that team. So we have two people in that IT department now. Now, that is the public team. But for private team is for specific projects. Like now, I am working on this particular project. Just 5 people are working on this project. We are not expecting anyone to join uninvited. Then I'm going to create a private team. Anyone I add into that team remains in that team. Nobody can join that team without me adding that person. But for public team, I can search. If I'm not a member of HR team, I can search for, I am a member of HR team and they have created IT department team. So I can search for that IT department and decide to join. That is because it's a public team. But for private team, you cannot even search for it. You cannot join without you being invited into a private team. That is the difference between the private team and the public team. How forget that? Please, if I'm talking too fast, please, someone should just call my attention to that. So now we've created a public team. Now we're going to.
Slow down a bit, please. Yeah.
Oh, I do apologize for that. Okay, HR department. So now
you can take your time. Actually, it's still coming back next to again.
Fine. So let me just go back here then. We have org team for everyone in the organization, not in the department. If I'm saying org team, everyone in the organization. Now, how do I know everyone in the organization? Everyone in the organization means everyone I have in my tenant. Don't forget, if you create, I think I'm talking based on previous sessions. Now, if you have gotten your Microsoft 365 subscription, let's say you get business standard, for instance, you have people, you have created accounts for people in the organization, you've assigned licenses to them. Those that you have created accounts for in that your tenants are the people we are talking about here. Because for instance, now in my organization, I have janitor, I have some security people that are being managed by another company. They are just contract staff here. I do not want to add them in my organization. I may possibly have they add their head because that one needs to get some information to pass to others. So those people, I don't have them I don't have accounts created for them in my organization because they are not practically in my organization. They're just working for my organization. So those ones are not going to be added because they do not have an account in Office 365. Like, and they do not have accounts created for them. So any account I have created in Office 365 in my subscription, in my tenants, will get automatically added if I create org team. Now, if that is clear, public team is a team where I want to have people in that team, and anyone can actually join that team. I can say I have training team where if you possibly know that you need to learn some things, I have resources in the training team that I've created. You can search and join that team, access the resources you need to learn what you need to learn, meaning it is publicly available to everyone. But we don't want to create an org team for that because not everyone needs it. Only if you need it, you can access that team. You can request to join the team, you can join the team, and you can then access the resources that you need. But if the resources I have is practically not for anyone, if it is for those that are in the team, and I don't want anyone joining, I don't even want to get any invite from anyone, then what I'm going to do is private team. There are instances where, talking of email, you can have your the emails of your the board of directors. The directors, they don't, many a times in organizations, they don't get email from, you cannot send them email directly because of certain policies that have been put in place. You have to, okay, now the head of department can send email to the management board of directors. Now, the same way here, if you have a private team created for a particular project, people outside that project will not be able to join that team. That is the difference between the private team and the public team. For public team, after creating it, I was not added, I can search for it and request to join. For the private team, I cannot join at all. So that is this explanation for the 3 different teams that we have that we can create. Do we understand that, please?
Yes.
So now I have created a public team named IT department. Going back to IT department here, yes, this card. Going back to IT department here, I have 2 people here, myself and manage member. Okay, let me go to manage team and I can see the members here. I created the team, so I became I become the owner of the team automatically, and I added Ansel. He is a member of this team now. Now, if there's any communication that goes into this team, I can get it. Ansel can get it. If I decide to say, okay, now I'm adding someone into the someone new is coming into the IT department. Okay, add member, and who is that person? Leslie is here. Add. Now, Leslie is coming in as the deputy lead for this department. Now, I want to give him ownership permission. Now, I'm making him an owner. While creating this, I'm making him an owner. And I can decide to change this permission after creating it. But here, I've changed the permission from member to owner. Don't forget, I added Amsol earlier as a member. I did not change it. But May needs to have certain privilege because he's deputy lead. He can deputize when the lead is not in. So he may need to possibly perform certain actions that the only owner can perform. I say close. Now, May Leslie has been added here. Oh, yeah. Where is Leslie? Okay, here is Leslie. Let me go and find Leslie. Everybody, help me in searching for Leslie. Manage team. Here we are, May Leslie, owner. While Amsol still remains a member of the team. Now, at any point that I feel okay, May Leslie is, I don't want to have that owner permission again due to some certain policies in the organization. I can decide to change. Okay, May Leslie, please be a member, not an owner. But look at here, I have only one owner left. I cannot change this owner's right into member, because if I do that, there will be no owner that will manage this team anymore. Look at this. You can't make yourself a member because you are the last team admin. But if I have Leslie as an owner, I can decide to say change this role to member. Now, one of the reasons why organizations do have policies is, okay, this particular person, we only need, there's a policy that says for this kind of team, if you are not more than 5 in the team, we should have only one owner. Then I cannot make another person an owner, even if he's the deputy lead, because we are just 3 here. Now, if we are now 6, policy allows me to add someone as an owner. I can say, oh, May Leslie, become an owner. As simple as that. Now, that is for a team. We talked about public team here. Now, if you create a private team, there should be something that can differentiate between public and private team. We're going to see that now. Now, I'm back here. What have I done? I clicked on join or create a team, as I did earlier, and I clicked on, let me do something here. I want to see if this will have provisioned. I don't have a code. Oh, okay. So I cannot join that one. Now, create a team from scratch. Private. Directors. Strictly for directors. Great. What I'm doing here is I'm creating a private team. I've created a public team, which is the IT department. Now I'm creating a private team. Now, let's say May Leslie is supposed to be, is one of the directors. So I had May Leslie here, and well, if we are director does not mean we should all be an owner. So I'm not making you an owner, you remain a member. Here I have IT department. Here I have directors. If I go here, I can decide to say manage team. And here I will see those that I've added. This is a private team. If we go into the admin center to manage this team, we're going to see certain differences, we're going to see certain things, but then we will not be able to go to the admin center today. Next session, God's willing, we're going to be going to the admin center to show us these things we've done here, what is the effect they have in the admin center, and then we'll talk about some other things. Now, don't forget, we have created team. We've not actually dwelled on channels. Now, for a channel, now we came from activity, to channel, to chats, then to teams. And from here now, we talked about creating the team, public and private and or hog wide. Now, if I need to create, as I've mentioned earlier, for IT department, we have sub-departments, sub-team. We have a security team. Now I need to create more channels, add channel. Now, before we decide to create a channel, one thing we should understand is that for a channel, for a public team, if I add, or let's say generally, I cannot add anyone into any channel I create except that person has been added into a team. Now, that takes me to explaining the types of channel that we have. We have 3 types of channel. We have the standard channel. Let me say add channel. Now, we have the standard channel, we have the private channel, and we have the shared channel. Standard channel, anyone that has been added into the team will be automatically added into standard channel. Now, the meaning is that if I have a new joiner in the IT department, regardless of that person being in security team, network team, helpdesk team, I just add that person into the team IT department. Automatically, that person will be added to any standard channel I create. Now, if that is the case, I need a channel that I can add people with specific role, not just everyone. So to do that, I will create a private channel. Private channel gives me the leverage to say, yes, these people are in my team. They are in the IT department, but I need to have their own space for them where they can work on their projects. Now, for network team, I can say I want to create network team here, just for network guys. Like I say this is just for description. Now I'm making it a private channel. I'm creating this now. And I need to add people. I am the only one in that department for now, so I cannot add anyone. And here I can see network team with this padlock that shows that this is locked and only available to a set of people. Now I cannot have security team in here without adding that person. Let's say I want to add someone here now. Now I'm the only one in the network team, but so now the organization expands. We have one more person join the network team. Don't forget that that person must be in the department. I must have added that person to the team. I cannot decide to add just anybody into either the standard channel or the private channel without adding the person first into the team. If I add that person to the team, that person I have added to the team can access the general channel and any standard channel. But if I've created private channel, that person will not be able to access that private channel, except I add him or her to the private channel. So that is the difference between the public channel and the private channel. Now, we now have a third channel, which is shared channel. One of the latest additions into the Teams features. Shared channel gives us the opportunity of adding people that are external to our organization. Like Emmanuel, I can add Emmanuel Itoje into a shared channel without adding him into the team. If we need to work on specific project, I just want to create, because if I had Emmanuel to, okay, let me ask this question. Let's assume I'm able to add Emmanuel into this IT department. I add Emmanuel into this IT department and I have a public channel that I have created. Emmanuel is not supposed to have access to that public channel. He is supposed to work with the network team. So I need to add him into network team, but then there is a public channel. What happens? Will Emmanuel have access to that public channel or not? Anyone can answer that question, please? I'm still audible, right? Oh, I think it's been a while. I check. Am I still audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So please, will Emmanuel have access to that public channel?
That's if you add him to the team.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's going to have access to the public channel.
Exactly. This is the problem shared channel is coming to fix. Because imagine I have network team, I have security team, I have help desk team. Security team is a public team for any reason that is well known to the organization. Let's say I create a security team and it is a public team. A channel. Security team. Everyone in the team can access it. But I want this to be accessible. Oh, okay, let's say this is a mistake. Security team, like if you look at logically, you're not supposed to have access to it, not just anyone. But then talking of I want to see, I've given it a name, security team, but I want to edit the name. I want to change it to help desk because I think help desk is still reasonably okay to say let everybody have access to it because we can have everybody in the department attending to help desk issues. So fine. Now, let's say we have help desk. Then we want this to be accessible to anyone in this in the department, not external user. And I need to add the manual to work on a particular project. I need to add him to this team before I will be able to add him to a channel, to that channel I created for that project. Meaning Emmanuel is going to have access to the help desk information. Because if you had anyone here, they have access to the information you've shared. So with that, I have a shared channel that can solve that problem for me. And when I create a shared channel, I don't need to add the manual into my IT department. I just need to add Itoje into the shared channel directly. It says people you choose from your organization or other organization have access. So meaning that I don't need to add him into my team before I can add him to the shared channel. However, there is a setup. I need to set that up. Cross-tenant foundation, I need to configure that, enable the external access, enable this and that. I have to do the configuration, the setup before I'll be able to use this feature for my organization and for the organization where I'm adding someone from. Another tip here, for shared channel, you can, as of now, you cannot add a guest into a shared channel, even if the guest has been converted into member. I'm saying this for those that might have been familiar with Teams before, so that I think we understand that better. For those that do not understand that now, when we go to the point where we discuss guest channel, guest and external access in Teams, you're going to understand that better. But the point is, the tip here is that for the shared channel, you cannot add a guest or a guest that is actually converted to a member. You can convert guest to a member. If you convert a guest to a member, you can still not add that person here. So that is the tip for the shared channel. So now that is basically for a team. You can create a team, create a private channel, create a public channel, and you can also create a shared channel for the team. So I think for the time that we have left, we should take question and answers, contributions from people that are on the call. We're going to take it up from here in our next session, and we're going to take it into the admin center. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening so far.
Thank you so much, Assis, for that session. So, guys, we have questions. The floor is open for you to ask a question.
Aziz, thank you so much. Yeah. So before you go, I just wanted to see if I could just show like an example of how that shared channel looks like in both users' interface, like the person that is the external identity, that's the external organization, and the organization that is sharing it. So I think I have something I can just show people the look.
Okay, please.
And then they can ask their question. So let me just share it like real quick.
Yeah, please do that.
Okay, let me pull my Teams and then I will just share my screen. Yep. So I guess you can all see my screen now.
Oh, yes, I can.
Okay. So basically, this is a different tenant, and this is just what Aziz explained to us. This is teams, right? And this team, I have sales team, and I have different channels here. So now I'm trying to collaborate with somebody from Tech, and the person will be dealing with my marketing, some people from marketing, right? And I don't want the person to see this general channel, what's happening here, because if I add him to this team, he will probably see what's happening here. And since this is not private, the person will probably see what is happening here, just like he explained. So once I use this share channel, you will see the way to appear on the person's side. Do you see that? It's actually showing sales. But now if you look at sales, this is only what the person can see. So the person cannot, you can say I sent hi team. So the person cannot see that there's a general and there's a product awareness. And this is like one of the latest, this is the latest, not like, this is the latest channel that Microsoft released in Teams. So I think just in case you want to try it, and I hope probably in the next session, he would probably show us how to do this, which will be great. So that if you want to try it, you can probably try it with your friends, tenants, and you will see how it works. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate
Thank you.
it
Before you stop the sharing. Now, when I talked about some private and public channel and the shared channel, I told you're going to see a padlock for the private channel. Now you can see an icon for that fundamentals. That icon you are seeing in front of fundamentals shows that that is a shared channel. If you see a padlock, it is a private channel. If you see that icon that is in front of that fundamentals, like a chain or something, a link, it shows a shared channel. So that's just a tip as well. So thank you so much for that addition. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. You did a great job.
You.
Awesome, guys. If you have questions, the floor is open, actually. If you have questions, the floor is open. Guys, we have question. Okay, Aziz, can you just expand this on why when team is created, a general channel is created by default. For people that don't know, why when team is created, the general channel is created with it by default. Can you just explain that?
I think I mentioned something around that. So I liken it to if you possibly have a structure, you want to build a house. Now, if you have a house, by default, you have a room by default. Even if it's just a four corner wall that you have built, like a hall, that space that you have within is the room. So by default, if you are going to a house, you are entering a room, like a space, not that particular house. Now I say I'm entering this social house. It means I'm entering a particular room in that house. So if you have your if you create a team, by default you have the general channel. General channel becomes the all, where okay, this is the open space. You can now decide to say yes, in this hall now I want to have a room for a dressing room. Okay, I want to have a room for this. I want to have a room for this. That is where other channels comes in. So by default, you have the general channel. And that another tip is that the general channel, you cannot change the name. I did change, I created a security team. This is not supposed to be security team, supposed to be help desk. I changed the name. But for general, you cannot change that name. It is the default name, the default channel, and you cannot change that. So anyone that you add into your team have access to that general channel. So by standard, we understand that that general channel is a public channel. That is why anyone you add into the team have access to the general channel, and that is the default channel that gets created. Now, if you have you don't want to, I have an IT department, I have 6 people in the department, they are all okay, I have system admins, and I want them all to have access to whatever. I don't want to create a separate team for them. I don't necessarily need to go and create a team because a channel, because the general channel is a standard channel where everyone I have in that channel is going to get, they're going to get whatever I'm communicating with them. But then why general channel might not actually work is that I may possibly have an IT department now. I have students that join my department for their intern, and I do not have any specific role that requires them to be in any specific channel. So that way, I have to create a standard channel where I have, I have to create a private channel where I have people now. Whatever I'm sharing in the general channel is available to everyone. while whatever I need to share to specific people would be shared via the private channel. So this is a bit my explanation about the general channel and why it got created when you're creating when we are creating a team in Teams. Thank you. So one thing is this session is open to everyone. If you have a contribution or clarification or something, you please you can say so that we can learn. Like I told you earlier, it's just for us to learn from you, you learn from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aziz. Guys, do you still have questions? The floor is still open. We still have about 3 minutes.
Okay, I think William is okay. Yeah, same link that has been answered. You can type in your question as well if you don't want to talk.
All right, no question. So let me ask another one. You mentioned that when you're chatting with an external, the the paperclip icon is not showing. I wanted to ask if at all I have a configuration in my organization in which in my sharing permission, and I allow anyone that has a link. Would that paperclip be available?
Well, talking of external communication, no, it will not be available. There are other means where you can share files with external user. The major concept where the major reason why you don't have the paperclip available is that when you enable external access in the organization, it means you are allowing everyone, like external access means I am allowing another domain, another organization to access the resources in my own organization. So if I have given that so much privilege to another organization to access my organization, anyone in the organization can chat with anyone from that organization. So it means anyone from here can send resources that are not supposed to be shared with those people. So that is why we have guest access. If there is need to access files, I will be able to see that icon for guest access, guest users. I can share, I can now add specific user that need to access those information or those files, those resources. I can share those files with them. Then another thing is that we have a lot of other permissions that we can use. We have our SharePoint permissions. We have these that can enable us share files with external users, and we have certain other ways. If you had an external user into a team like a guest as well, that becomes a guest user and be able to get files as well. There are so many other ways where you can share files. Now we're going to, as we go further, we're going to make us understand that what happens to files that we upload or share in Teams. And one of the reasons why the sharing permission is not actually within Teams. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Again, Franca is asking for your LinkedIn profile. Franca will share that with you so you can connect with Abdulafeez in case you have any other questions you want to ask after the session. It's fine.
Okay,
All right.
fine. I'm going to drop that on the chat now.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. In the absence of no other question, I want to thank everyone for staying to the end of the session. Next week again, we'll be having Afeez joining us. He's going to continue from where he stops. Teams is actually very wide, so it's something we are going to look at for over 8 weeks, the way I'm looking at it. But just stay with us. You have a lot to learn from all these SMEs that will be coming on board. Thank you, everyone. So have a lovely weekend.
Thank you all for joining. Bye for now. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much.